Admiral Thexra of the Galactic Defense Fleet had seen many terrifying sights in her 3 centuries of service. She had witnessed the glass storms of Kepler 442b, survived the crystal plague of the Andorian sector, and even negotiated with the nightmare entities from the dark matter realms. But nothing, absolutely nothing, had prepared her for what now appeared on her tactical display. The human battleship Determination hung in space like a floating scrapyard, its hull a patchwork of mismatched metal plates, exposed wiring, and what appeared to be. Was that duct tape? The vessel looked as though it had been assembled by blind engineers during an earthquake, using parts salvaged from 17 different shipwrecks. "Sir," her tactical officer stammered, his 4 hands shaking as they danced across the control panels. "The human vessel. It's not responding to our standard threat assessment protocols." "What do you mean?" Admiral Thexra demanded, her crystalline hide shifting to a nervous orange hue. "Well, our sensors can't determine its power output, weapons systems, or defensive capabilities. Every time we scan it, we get different readings. It's like the ship is actively changing." On the main view screen, the human battleship seemed to shimmer and twist, its configuration shifting in ways that defied the known laws of physics. What had been a weapons array moments ago now appeared to be some sort of communications dish. The engine nacelles kept moving to different positions, and the bridge section seemed to phase in and out of visible spectrum. "Admiral," Communications Officer Zeltar called out, his voice cracking with fear. "We're receiving a transmission from the human vessel. It's just one human. A single biological entity is operating that entire ship." The view screen switched to show a middle-aged human woman with grease-stained coveralls and wild hair, casually munching on what appeared to be a primitive food substance, while simultaneously operating 17 different control stations with mechanical appendages that sprouted from her back like technological tentacles. "Howdy there, space folks," the human chirped cheerfully. "Name's Engineer Sarah Rodriguez, and this here's my baby, the Determination. Hope we're not causing too much of a fuss." Admiral Thexra's tactical analysis subroutines nearly crashed. This single human was somehow managing quantum-level multitasking that should have required a crew of thousands. Worse yet, she seemed completely oblivious to the terror she was inspiring. "Human Rodriguez," the Admiral managed, "your vessel's configuration is. What type of propulsion system are you using?" Sarah paused mid-chew and grinned. "Oh, this old thing? It's a hybrid system I cobbled together. Got some antimatter drives from a Zephyrian wreck, quantum tunnel drives from those fancy Altarian cruisers, a couple of warp cores I found floating around a black hole, and oh, this really neat probability manipulation engine from a species that doesn't exist yet. Runs on coffee and spite, mostly." The bridge crew exchanged horrified glances. The human had somehow combined technologies that were not only incompatible, but should have resulted in immediate dimensional collapse. The fact that her ship existed at all violated approximately 14 fundamental laws of physics. "The weapons systems," Tactical Officer Keth demanded. "Show us your weapons." Sarah looked genuinely confused. "Weapons? Oh, you mean the defensive stuff? Well, I've got some modified asteroid mining lasers, a few gravitational singularity generators I use for waste disposal, and this really cool reality distortion field that makes attackers forget why they wanted to fight in the first place. But honestly, I mostly use those for cooking and entertainment." She casually activated what she called her waste disposal system, and the crew watched in abject horror as a small artificial black hole materialized next to her ship, devoured a passing asteroid, and then somehow folded space-time to create a perfect orbit around itself before vanishing with a polite pop. "She uses controlled singularities for garbage disposal," someone whispered on the bridge. "The humans use controlled singularities for garbage disposal." Admiral Thexra was beginning to understand why every species in the galaxy had the same reaction when humans were mentioned: immediate evacuation of the sector. She had always assumed it was because humans were aggressive. Now she realized it was because they were completely, utterly insane. "Human Rodriguez," she said carefully, "may I ask, what brings you to this sector?" Sarah brightened. "Oh, I'm delivering a pizza to the research station on Proxima 7. The crew there ordered a large pepperoni with extra cheese about 6 months ago, and I finally figured out how to keep it hot during faster-than-light travel. Turns out you just need to store it in a localized time dilation field. Simple, really." The Admiral's head began to hurt. "You crossed half the galaxy to deliver food?" "Well, yeah. A promise is a promise. Plus, I wanted to test my new navigation system. It works by asking the universe really nicely to please let me go where I need to go. Has about a 60% success rate, which is pretty good for experimental tech." At that moment, proximity alarms began screaming across the bridge. Admiral Thexra's worst fear was materializing on the tactical display. A Krextar death fleet, the second most dangerous species in the galaxy, was emerging from hyperspace. 50 ships, each one capable of destroying a planet. The Krextar War Master's voice boomed across all frequencies. "Surrender, weaklings. Your sector now belongs to the Krextar Empire." Sarah Rodriguez looked mildly annoyed. "Excuse me? I'm trying to deliver a pizza here. Could you folks maybe take your space politics somewhere else?" The Krextar fleet responded by charging their planet-killer weapons. What happened next would be studied by xenobiologists for millennia. Sarah simply reached over to what she called her emergency button and pressed it. Reality hiccuped. Space folded in on itself like origami made of starlight. The Krextar fleet found itself somehow transported 17,000 light-years away, orbiting a star that was playing classical Earth music. "There," Sarah said, dusting off her hands. "Much better. Now where were we?" "Oh right, Admiral Thexra. Would you like to try some pizza? I always make extra, and it's still hot thanks to the time dilation field." Admiral Thexra stared at the human who had just casually relocated 50 warships across the galaxy while offering to share food. In that moment, she understood the true horror that had gripped the galaxy's greatest civilizations when they first encountered humanity. It wasn't that humans were the most advanced species. It wasn't that they were the most aggressive. It was that they were so catastrophically unpredictable that they broke the universe simply by existing in it, and they did it all with the casual friendliness of someone offering you tea. I think I'll pass on the pizza," the Admiral whispered. Sarah shrugged. "Suit yourself. Well, I better get going. This pizza won't deliver itself, and I promised the folks on Proxima 7 I'd be there by Thursday. See you around." As the determination vanished into what appeared to be a wormhole made of pure impossibility, Admiral Thexra made a note in her log: "Recommend immediate reclassification of humans from unknown threat to natural disaster. Advise all vessels to maintain minimum safe distance of 50 light-years." The galaxy would never be the same.